Hello, crier. This is Crying in the Cinema. I'm Keisha.
I'm Sam.
Welcome to our third episode. It is crying about memorizing lines and being institutionalized. So this is actually an episode that I'm very excited about because I love prison films. Do you like prison films as much as I do?
I think I do. I mean, I actually haven't seen as many of them as I would like, but kind of rediscovering them with you has been good, and it's made me realize all the things I do like about prison films.
What do you like about prison films now?
I think tends to be these themes of hope versus despair, and the interplay between those, which are some of the deepest. I think those are some of the deepest emotions that we have. Also, the idea of feeling trapped or like a lack of control in your life. I think that's something that can feel relatable to people, and the main characters are trapped in this hostile environment with these powerful forces like the warden and the guards who are keeping watch at all times. It's quite dystopian in that sense, and turning people against one another. But also, I think from a storytelling point of view, it presents a challenge because you have a limited set of characters and limited directions for the plot to go in. So the narrative often ends up driving us inwards into the characters, so they can feel particularly three-dimensional and particularly realized.
Yeah, it's a challenge of itself, really. And you love drama as well. There's a lot of prison drama.
Yeah, well, and I think there's a lot of tension, like simmering tension, and in some prison films that ends up leading to some kind of big confrontation, but then sometimes it doesn't. It can wrong foot you. Sometimes you find moments of softness and
the direction of each prison film really is unique to each own, really. So that's what I don't know what I'm gonna get sometimes, because there's this classic understanding of prison film. It has to be brutal, but it doesn't have to, which is why we're choosing two different prison films with different tones as well this episode. But anyway, a bit about myself, why I love it from my side is because I really value freedom, autonomy, and I'm a bit of an escapist as well. I think because of that, it's always interesting for me. It's very fascinating to see people's story, those who are incarcerated, because I want to see how they navigate their lives in restricted spaces, as you have mentioned, but really from there they can carve out meaning and like their dignity, but also some sort of rebellion from it. And it's always interesting and exciting to see how these characters showcase their intelligence, the intelligence that is scrappy and creative, with a lot of emotional strength as well, that I don't think I would have if I were ever. It's like no, I don't think so. I don't have the resilience and also patience as well. But then these things can be such a powerful force. And on top of that, I'm also interested in the human connections part of it, as you have mentioned as well. To see these extreme human behaviors that reveal, these people really reveal their true selves. That is just the exciting part. I want to see how different the characters are. So that's why this is sort of my niche.
Yeah, and I suppose sometimes these are characters that would not have normally interacted in the outside world, and they've been thrown together, so unlikely friendships, or perhaps unlikely enemies.
Should we start with the films we choose this week?
So the first one we chose was the Shawshank Redemption. Obviously a very, very famous film. I think growing up I often saw this one listed on top 100 films of all time, and top 10 films of all time, and things like that. It's based on a story by Stephen King.
Did you give 5 stars?
I think on Letterboxd.
On Letterboxd.
Oh, and a side note, one of our listeners asked us what Letterboxd is. Just to clarify, that is an app where you log all the films that you've watched and compare your opinions of them to other people's opinions. So thought we'd just clear that one up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shawshank Redemption, director Frank Darabont.
So I've been dreading this my whole life. I haven't watched it. I don't know why, because I thought maybe it would have been such a heavy film, but on the contrary, or even though there are parts that is very like that are very brutal and scary, it's very hopecore as well. So do you want to talk a bit about the plot?
Yeah, sure. So they throw us in Shawshank Redemption in the beginning. We see a courtroom, and the prosecutor is explaining how all the evidence points to this the main character Andy Dufresne having killed his wife and her lover, and then he goes to prison for with a very, very long sentence. He begins his sentence and is not very well placed because the other prisoners don't think he's going to last very long. He seems a bit weak and a bit shy, and he gets picked on by both the other prisoners and the guards and the warden. But over time, he begins to accumulate some cachet among both groups. So with the prisoners, he manages to get them some beers by using his intelligence to help out some of the guards with some problem they have. Financial problem, and then that kind of ties him into how he gains some kind of respect among the guards, because he's doing their fiddling their books for them using accountancy tricks.
He has this skill that his financial skill he can bring everywhere, and can be used anywhere, which is very handy, and kind of bring him to a place that is very useful and put people into place in a way, give him power in the prison. But he's not a cocky character. He's quite a lovable character. He's very he chose the right friends, the right allies. He genuinely cares about his friends in prison. So I think in a way, my hot take, it's kind of a comfort film potentially for me, although the setting is indeed grim and trigger warning. There are some really violent scenes as well. It is brutal, but with deep humanity as well. So
Yeah,
it's a theme.
I agree. Like the sense of camaraderie between the friends is what makes it not unpleasant to watch, because you keep coming back to the cafeteria where he's sitting with his friends. Red, the main one, played by Morgan Freeman. And then there's Brooks, the librarian, and another one, Hayward, and they're all cracking jokes together and things. And you see him grow more comfortable over the time that he spends in the prison.
Yeah, there's this library community that they built as well. I think that's when everyone felt like normal again, like human again, doing their own jobs. Although, of course, in prisons, they were always given some task, but that more intellectual vibes in the library really humanized them in a way. So it's I really like the film. I was very engaged with every single scene, and I think it might be one of the greatest. Yeah,
cool. And would you like to give us the second film that we're looking at this week?
We watched it recently. It's called Sing Sing.
Directed by Greg Quaidar.
Yes. So this is actually Coleman Domingo's passion project. I watched one of his interviews. I think it was it was a round table. I think it's the Vanity Fair one. So he mentioned that he started these big films like Rustin and The Color Purple. I get tons of money, so he's able to do his passion projects like the Sing Sing film, which is based on this prison called Sing Sing, and this is based on a true story where there is a theater program in the prison, and it really give hope to all these incarcerated men. And actually, the actors were members of this community prison community theater. So that really adds more realness and also just meaning to the film, because other than Coleman and the director they hired to for this program, they're all real people telling their own stories.
Yeah, playing like different versions of themselves and their own experiences. Yeah, it's very, very moving knowing that.
Yeah. So Coleman, he plays this guy called Divine G. Before that, he was working. He was a playwright, actor, so he's working in that sort of area. So this is something. He's one of the founding members of this project, if not the person who really drove this project into success. So that's sort of the story. I don't think there's much to tell, because personally, I think this is such a the narration is quite soft, I think, for a prison film compared to other prison films I've watched. Do you think there could have been more drama?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was quite light on in terms of the conflict or big plot beats. It was more meditative in a lot of places. It only takes place over a few months for the most part, whereas Shawshank took place over a much longer period. Yeah, I think it surprised me in that way, but it also felt quite calming to watch. And then it did mean that whenever there was any conflict, even just small level conflict, it really stood out. And it also made you think more about the internal conflict going on in some of the characters, particularly the main character.
Yeah, but also it gave me a different perspective towards the prison, the community inside the prison, because maybe it was the whole story. That was the how extreme it could be within the theater community. So at first I was like, maybe they can just add more drama, but maybe that was the truth. That was basically it. But I don't want to say that you needed more, because I gave 5 stars. I think it's a perfect film, but a film that is beyond its own film. You know, as I've mentioned about Coleman's passion project, he was actually immersing himself in the prison life with these people that he built the camaraderie, and actors are real prisoners, really. So that's why it's different, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Very unique film. And yeah, I'm glad they didn't try and contrive any outlandish plot points or arbitrary conflict between the characters. I mean, there was a bit, but it felt earned and it felt real. And it rarely came to blows.
Yeah, Coleman is always charismatic. As I've mentioned, I mention him all the time. I think I'm a fangirl, really. I can see he was able to use every strand of his muscle in his face to show all this, this wide range of emotions. So it's a treat, really, to see him on Sing Sing. So actually, I just want to mention that in the previous episode we mentioned about our cryometer, which I just want to remind you that we have it on our Instagram.
Yeah. Our Instagram is crying.inthecinema if you want to give us a follow and check out the cryometer.
Thank you. I think we will mention it every episode. So do you want to talk about that with both films now?
Yeah, absolutely. So for Shawshank, I have got 5 on the cryometer, which may be my highest so far, actually.
Light sobbing.
Light sobbing. And that was at the Brooks sequence. So one of the characters, the librarian, he he manages to get parole, and while he's out on parole, he struggles to adjust to life outside the prison, and seeing the anguish in him and his difficulties and loneliness and sadness and kind of grief that life has passed him by. I think that really hit me. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
What about you?
I'm exactly the same. It was 5 light sobbing. Yeah, it's so sad because naturally you would think if you're free, you'll be free, but he's not free from being institutionalized. His mindset, what he's used to. I think he mentioned it before he got out of the prison, that is like, oh, like I don't think this is the life for me, the outside world. So it was really sad. He butchered his job in the supermarket. The job was to bag people's grocery, and very grim and sad thing happened. So yeah, that we agree on that. So for Sing
Sing, this one was different. This one was quite different for me. I actually only had it on a 1 on the chronometer, crying on the inside. So yeah, I was moved by it, but there was no kind of physical response from me this time. I think the bits that were closest was probably there's a character who Divine G is very close with, and that I won't name it because of the spoilers, but this character leaves very suddenly, and the effects on the characters was very moving, certainly.
Yeah. So for me, 7 out of 10, heavy flow. For this one monologue, very hope core monologue, he was basically saying, the big guy, Dino, yeah, about the importance of this theater program, because this makes them feel like human again. And he also told everyone that this program really changed him as a person. He was very rough before, and then now he's way more softer. And yeah, it's I always love a nice deep monologue about hope and also about community. That definitely brought me all the tears.
Yeah, fair. That definitely, that moved me as well. I think with both films, something that was moving was that they kind of focus on a core relationship, core friendship between two of the prisoners. In Shawshank, it's Andy and Red, and in Sing Sing, it is Divine G and Divine I, and you see the charting of the course of their relationship and their friendship as it grows from non-existent to strong, and then there's some tumultuous times in between and throughout.
Enemies to lovers. I was kidding, not really.
Almost.
Enemies to friends, yeah. And when Divine G taught Divine I that they call each other, instead of the N-word, they call each other beloved. I think that's very sweet. I think I said each time they do that. Very nice touch, really. So there's after this, there's a new segment that I thought would be fun for a prison episode. So I was thinking, maybe the segment is called "How Would I Survive as the main character of each film." So have you come up with something?
I did, yes. So the Shawshank Redemption. In the Shawshank Redemption, Andy uses his financial prowess to help the guards.
Finance Rowie.
Yeah, mess with their finances and dodge taxes. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a financial background, so I cannot do that. But I do have a digital marketing background. So my idea would be to win favour amongst the guards by doing the prison's digital marketing campaign. Maybe some Google ads, something like that, run a campaign. And then also to gain favour among the prisoners, I can sell domain names as like contraband instead of cigarettes. And then also, so then that's how I will survive day to day in the prison, by doing these things. And I'll have a pretty comfortable life by doing that. But then when the time comes, when I'm ready to make my exit and leave, I'll create a website for like a prison day release scheme, like a fake one, and they reach out to the prison through email and say, oh, that prisoner would like to take him on some day out because it's part of the local government are running this scheme. And then actually it's just my friend coming to pick me up.
Oh.
What's your one for Shawshank?
Oh, I mean, now that I'm inspired by you, because my my skill probably is just in recruitment, I will help. The warden just interview the other inmates and like put them to the right job, really. But that wasn't what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good use. They need that.
Yeah, it's a whole system inside. So Andy, he likes to polish rocks, right? So my prison goal itself that I've been thinking throughout all of the prison films is to keep my skincare routine. That's very important for me if I'm inside a prison. At least that's the last thing. That's the only thing that can make me feel human. So from all these prison contraband, I will find out and maybe can learn from other people how they do it. But I need to exfoliate with some of the rocks. But I'm gonna use the rocks as well, similarly to Andy. Wink, wink.
Nice. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree that I have to be friends with the nerds and join Slay with them. Yeah. So at least if I have to crawl through to for my freedom, I will have it with hydrated skin and exfoliated as well.
Nice. In terms of sing, so yeah, in this one, I would become a playwright like Divine G, and my play is going to be about a prison guard, and so I need the prison guard costume for my performance. Maybe there's like some prop weapons or something, or like prop ID card, and then once during on opening night of the play, I'm just going to pop out like to use the bathroom, like in quotes, where I'm in my prison guard costume leaving the jail, and that's how I get out.
Oh, that's amazing if they're that stupid.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work.
No, it's really good. It's really good because you connect the costume department and your whole scheme to freedom. That's amazing, yeah. For me, I think if there's no amazing actors in this prison with me, I will want to be the Broadway resident there. I want to be the big fish in a small pond because it's a very successful theater group there. And I was thinking to really brand this whole theater and make some prison merch.
Yeah, that's a great
I
idea.
think that's a fun one. Well, making this film is basically kind of selling this kind of story, right? I think it's good to have merch as well.
Yeah.
Note that the film's not out yet. And of course, I think being on stage, and also if I were Divine G as well, I can always trauma dump on stage. Although most of the theater exercises as well was kind of help us. It will help us kind of emotionally and like psychologically. But I think I will use that as like group therapy as well. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I don't want to be tone deaf right here, but it seems like a good group that they have on Sing Sing.
Yeah.
In the film. Oh, by the way, about the film that I didn't mention before is they do it on film.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive. So Coleman really uses money for that, and it's kind of like a documentary kind of way. So it just feels really real. And of course, if you know the difference, digital versus film, it just looks way more authentic and dramatic, I think.
Yeah, and there are some imperfections like grain and noise that kind of break up the image, but it creates a real beautiful sort of appearance to the film. It's gorgeous film.
Yeah, so I think that's it for this week's episode, and we can't wait to hear from you.
contact us at contact@cryinginthecinema.com for any ideas you have for films you might want us to see, or just let us know which films make you cry and why.
Perfect. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.